Hey, I'm Jamey from Stonemaier Games, and if you subscribe to this channel, you probably know that I am a tabletop game designer, and I typically talk about tabletop games. But every now and then, I play a digital game, and this is the case today. I played the game Dredge, or I've played a few hours of the game Dredge. Dredge looks like this, and Dredge is a fishing game with a supernatural element to it that I've just barely started to dabble into in my maybe, 3 to 4 hours of gameplay. Um, the core loop of the game is that you start at a fishing village and you go off. You kind of leave the village, as you can see in this image here. You go off, you go fishing where you can see little bubbles. Like here's some bubbles. You go fishing there. You can visit other villages, other islands. You can see in the distance there are other islands out there. But whenever you're moving and whenever you're fishing, time passes, and there's a day-night cycle to that time. And when it's nighttime, some creepy things start to happen, creepy / dangerous things. And plus, you can't see. And so you might, in fact, I died on one of my runs because at night, I came back too late and I simply ran into some rocks and crashed my boat. So you do have to look out for these rocks when you're steering the boat. So typically you go out during the day, you fish for some stuff and you come back. Now, my favorite mechanism about the game so far is that it has a nice mix of soft and hard limits. And I'll give some examples for this. So an example of a hard limit in this game is that you have a limited capacity to how much your ship can hold. You have this tiny little fishing boat, and I don't have a good photo of it here, but you are, every time you catch a fish or every time you add an item or like an enhancement to your boat, it takes up space on your boat via a polyomino Tetris style puzzle. So you have this area of your boat that looks like it's kind of blocked off, and if you gain a fish, you have to fit it into that existing space on your boat. So this is a hard limit to how much you can actually fish on any given day. You can only fit so many fish on your boat. You can only fit so many upgrades on your boat. That's a hard limit. And you can increase that. I think over the course of the game, you can increase that amount of space by adding upgrades to your boat, but it continues to be a hard limit based on whatever the current constraint is. An example of a soft limit in the game is how long you stay out fishing and exploring every day. Even though the game greatly encourages you to return to the town before it gets really dark out, you can keep going. In fact, here's a photo of me kind of coming back a little bit late at night. It's 7 o'clock at night. You can see it's starting to get dark. I came back a little bit late, but there was one run that I had early on where I stayed out all night. I was pretty far away. I wasn't near a town where I could go dock for the night. And so I just stayed out for the whole night, and some things happened. But I survived. There was one night where I didn't survive. I hit those rocks, but there was another night where I did survive. And I stayed the whole night out fishing and exploring and just trying to survive. And so that was a soft limit. The game doesn't say you must return at night. The game says you probably want to return at night, but if you don't, or if you want to see what happens, give it a try. Stay out all night if you want to see what happens. I thought that was really, really clever. And that, I think, leans into the exploration side of the game, because there are so many things out here in the distance that I don't know what they are. I want to expand my boat's capacity to move faster and to fish faster so I can see what those things are. And if I really wanted to, I could go see them. I could go directly out there. At least I think I could. I think I could go directly out there. Maybe there's some other limits that I haven't run into yet. But other than the game encouraging me through this soft limit of the fear of what happens at night to come back, I could keep going and I could see what's out there. The one other thing tied to this is that I mentioned that time passes when you are moving the ship or when you are fishing. And the fishing mini game, again, I don't have a great photo of it here or screenshot of it, but there's just a very simple timing related fishing game where you're trying to have a little bar. You're trying to catch the mouse on a little bar, essentially, a few times as you're fishing. And I think the fishing game is really, really clever in relation to my game Vantage, in that, as far as I know, you will always succeed when you start a fishing mini game. It's just a matter of how long it takes. If you hit those little bars precisely, if you have good precision, a slight dexterity element, then you'll catch the fish faster and you'll use up less time. However, if you're not good at that and it just takes a long time to reel up that fish, you will, as far as I can tell, eventually get that fish. It just takes more time. And so it ties into this idea of a soft and a hard limit. You're going to succeed at fishing, but it's going to take more time, and time is a soft limit in the game. So yeah, I'm really enjoying these elements of Dredge, and it was a good reminder to me as a tabletop designer of the value of having a mix of soft and hard limits in the game. So yeah, this is something I want to explore more in my designs. I've really enjoyed Dredge so far. I'd love to hear your thoughts if you've played Dredge or if you've played a game with a mix of both soft and hard limits. Let me know about that in the comments below. Thanks.